So which is actually easier? Spending every dollar that you make right now because it feels good, or saving a little bit, being a little bit frugal, and investing so that your money can start working for you? I don't know where this idea originally came from, or if it was a quote that I heard somewhere, but there's this phrase that has been rolling around in my head for a little while, and it is harder but better. And the idea is that the path that seems easiest is often the path that leads to something harder down the line. And so the path that right now feels harder is actually probably the better path that's going to end up making life easier down the road. And so, think about this in terms of what we just asked, which is, should you spend all your money right now, or should you save a little bit and invest so your money starts working for you, right? So think about most people, when you have a little bit of extra money, what do you do with it, right? You go and spend it immediately. It's like, okay, cool, I've got an extra $50. I'm gonna go get a fancy dinner, or I'm gonna buy a new pair of shoes, or a new shirt, or like buy some new clothes or whatever. And you just spend every dollar that you have. And that the problem with that is that you're living paycheck to paycheck. So that when something comes up, right? Maybe you have an unexpected medical bill come up. Maybe you have to move and you weren't ready for that moving expense. Maybe you get fired from your job, and now do you have enough money to make it so you don't have to take the first job that you can get, but you actually can find something that's a good fit. And what happens is you have a car repair bill that comes up, and it's like, oh, I need a new engine in my car. Now what am I going to do? And so most people, they reach for a credit card that has 27% interest, and they get themselves screwed, and they're in a bad financial situation. And so the path that felt easier, right? Spending all the money, using what's there, and what naturally happens if you don't actually have a plan for your money becomes the harder path down the road. But think about the opposite side of this, right? The other side of this coin is, what if you put together a little bit of a plan so that you invest when you have a little bit extra money, right? And the thing is that this doesn't have to be some insane, massive amount of investment to start with. When I started investing, I was literally working part-time in college, and I had $50 every 2 weeks, and that was it. That was as much as I could possibly invest, but that's how I started building my investing accounts. And it's funny because it doesn't feel significant, but it doesn't have to. It's about time and about letting it grow. But think about what happens, if you have a car bill, but you've got an investment account where your money's working for you, but you can use that money whenever you want to. Well, now you go, okay, cool, I need a new engine. Well, that's a bummer, because now I'm going to be making less returns, right? My passive income is going to go down. But now, I don't have to scramble. I don't have to take out debt. I can just go buy a new engine. No big deal. And then I keep investing, and my accounts still keep growing. It's just a little setback. And it is so freeing, and it is so much better because there's a couple things that people really don't understand when it comes to money and when it comes to investing. And the first thing is what money actually is, right? So people think money, I want it, I need it. What even is money? And my favorite way to think about it is money is simply a store of value, right? And so if you invest, what's cool is that you can actually create systems where you buy something, and then because you've bought it, you get paid to be an owner. And that's what investing basically is, right? You look to make returns, but what's crazy is that you can actually make returns where you don't have to work for it. So you get real passive income where your money works for you and gives you value because you've invested it. And that's so cool, because that's money that you don't actively go earn, but it still gets paid to you. So your money actually works for you, and you're not the only one working for your money. And so it's okay, that's cool. So I get more value by being an investor. It's yeah, that's how this works. And it can help you build a solid financial foundation, which is crazy. But it's interesting because people think about money and they don't understand it. But then you think about okay, well, do I have to have a lot to start? It's no. I started with $50. It doesn't take that much. It's more about time and consistency. And there's actually this really cool idea out of a book from a guy named Napoleon Hill called Outwitting the Devil. And I wear this cross, and I talk about Christian stuff in the Bible all the time. Outwitting the Devil is not necessarily a real Christian book, but it's a very, very interesting book, crazy psychology. But in there's this really, really good idea. And it's this principle that Napoleon Hill calls hypnotic rhythm. Basically, the idea is that if you want to accomplish some goal in life, right? You want to have your money start working for you and build an investment account that's actually meaningful, right? Let's say you want to make $1 a day in passive income. That's a super cool goal. I talk about it in some of my videos because that was one that was pretty impactful for me. But the idea is with hypnotic rhythm, you don't have to do some crazy, massive, big thing. Right off the bat, what you have to do is simple, small daily actions that take you consistently in the direction that you want to go. And if you're able to do that, then that's how you actually build the type of life that you want. So you don't have to start with $100,000 to invest today. Instead, you start where you are, figure out Do you have a little bit of extra income that you can actually work with that can help you start investing today, right now, so that you can actually begin on the path to build the financial foundation, future security, like whatever it is that you want. But that's how it works, right? And so, yeah, like investing, it's so powerful and it's so cool, but it's not that complicated and you don't have to start with a ton of money. So I actually created something called the First Stock Challenge, where I go in and I show you like tactically what this looks like in 3 days. It's 90 minutes a day, so not a lot of time, but it's a really, really powerful training that I created to help you actually start investing for yourself, even if you're starting with just a little bit of money, like $50, like I did. Like that's actually enough. And so if you want to find out how this works and see tactically, like what do you need to do to actually become an investor whose money can work for you and who can generate passive income with the stock market, then check out the First Stock Challenge at stockmarketstarters.com/FSC, right? First Stock Challenge. And I'll see you there.